All right, what's good, man? It's time to react to the game of the week, man. Maybe even the game of the year. This is an epic game between two powerhouses in Alabama, man. Very rare do we see this. First time in SEC history, one versus two. And to me, for the most part, I lived up to the billing. Now, I know Auburn led for the most part, did their thing. Alabama was able to come back, and it's tied up 65-65. But for the most part, Auburn really dominated this game. It was way ahead, man. And there's some key things to look at when you break all this down. First off, for Auburn, we're gonna talk about Johnny Broom or Janai Broom, but let's talk about Tahad Pettiford, bro. Hey, he was electric in this game. He's the third leading scorer for Auburn this year. What he's able to do, man, in so little space, I agree with Trey Young's dad. Like, he really plays like a pro. He plays a step ahead of the competition. He plays a step ahead of the competition and really shows, man, on the next level, he could be one of those dudes, right? Second half of this game, like first half, he didn't even shoot it well. He shot 4 for 6 in the second half, dropped 11 points, 2 or 3 from 3, right? And what I love is, like, he don't always need the ball in order to be effective, right? Obviously, he's a great scorer. But when I say he doesn't need the ball, like, he can go and not touch the ball for, like, 5 or 6 possessions. And then when they need him to go get a bucket, he can. And they have that coming off the bench for them for most nights. That's insane to think about, especially with all these guys that you have in this one. So I thought he had a pretty good game. Obviously, we look at Janai Broom. Now, he was obviously banged up in this one, like he re-aggravated potentially that ankle injury. Didn't shoot it the best, but obviously was the leading scorer for Auburn with 19. But he shows you, man, when he get to certain spots on the floor, he's hard to stop. He's hard to slow down, man. When he gets to that right shoulder, he can pivot off it, fade away, go up in the lane, take contact, finish. Like, he has a full, complete package, and I see why, obviously, he's in that conversation with Nate Smith, Player of the Year, or Wooden Player of the Year, along with a Cooper Flag. He is tough to stop. And when you have that in the paint in the post, when your outside scoring is struggling, which it did in this game, only 46% shooting in this one for Auburn, you got a guy on the interior you can go to who can also stretch the defense with his jump shot. He was also, I thought, pretty good in this game. But I do want to give a shout out to the Auburn defense. Now, we're going to talk obviously about Alabama here in just a second. But 6 blocks in this game. I thought when Alabama was threatening, trying to get back into this game, obviously they shot one of their worst percentages, I think, this year, only 39%. Really struggled, especially in the first half. Their defense for Auburn was tough. They was getting blocks. They was making shots tough in the lane. And their defense is what's going to probably carry this team. I definitely think they can make a Final Four. I doubt them slipping up. They've already been through, the SEC for the most part. Obviously got a couple more games here, but they're 14-2 against quad one opponents. That's top 25, top 30 teams in the country. So they're battle tested. They're proven. Obviously lost to Duke, but nonetheless, Auburn has shown this year that they can go up against any team and win. And they got contributions from everywhere. We talked about Tahad Pettiford. We've talked about Janai Broom, right? We haven't even talked about Miles Kelly, who dropped 15 in this game, who had a pretty decent game in my opinion. We ain't talk about the shooting display put on here. Yeah, the shooting display put on by Denver Jones, right? Who obviously had it going from 3-point range, 3 for 5 from 3. Like, when you have so many guys that can score and then they defend at a high level, it makes Auburn dangerous, man. And they already have an elite coach in Bruce Pearl. So they've been knocking on the doorstep for years and years. This could be the year they potentially do it, and you go into that atmosphere and pull off that kind of a victory against Alabama. I think it says a lot. They've done it all year, obviously, but seeing them doing it, watching the game, I was thoroughly impressed. Now, if you're Alabama, you definitely needed this game. You need to work out some of the kinks. Now, look, you only had 3 losses coming in. Obviously, you're number 2. According to ESPN Analytics, you're projected 37% chance, even with the loss, to get a number 1 seed. That says a lot about how much trust they have in you and what you've been able to do this year. The key for Bama, though, and I know they're a 3-point shooting team, they shoot it too much. They were 5 for 26 in this game shooting their 3 ball. I don't understand why. Now, look, I know Mark Sears is probably their best player, came back another year, but he shot way too many threes. He was 4 of 17 from the field and 2-11 from 3. At some point, bro, you got to stop shooting. Now, I understand a lot of people say, no, you never tell that to a guy that shoots the basketball. I know what y'all saying. What I'm saying is, if the 3 ball is not falling from long range, why not probe into the lane and get an easy basket to get your rhythm going so then you can stretch the defense? Now, granted, he did hit some big shots, you know what I'm saying, especially in that 10-0 run that got them back into the basketball game, right? He did hit those. But again, when you shooting as deep as Mark Sears is shooting, you got to be able to find a rhythm first and foremost, man. So that part I don't understand. You got Grant Nelson back another year. Feed him in the paint in the inside and the interior. Let Chris Youngblood also get some touches as well. You got LeBaron Philon. Like, they have guys that can play, that can score. We know that. But a game like this, when you're struggling from shooting, at that point, we need you to be a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? We need you to get other guys involved and get them into a rhythm. Yeah, so that's my thoughts there. Like Aiden Holloway, like those guys I brought up earlier, get them more touches. You know what I'm saying? I know Mark Sears is as a sniper. I know he's a marksman from three. But when you're struggling like that, let's get other opportunities, guys involved. Them 17 shots, you could have got that to 10. You could have did, you know what I'm saying, 8. Get the other guys involved that had it going, getting LeBaron Fowler more touches. That's the only part I didn't understand. But it's gonna be nice like this. You're gonna be nice like this. You don't shoot it well when you're struggling from deep. But that is when you use the other parts of your game in order to come up big. Now I know they got a great coach and coach Nate Oates. They made Final Four runs. They've been spectacular. But a game like this, it's a game you can learn from, right? A game you can continue to fine tune, get better and better. So they'll learn from it. But I think that's kind of what helped really helped them. Well, I won't say helped them, but really made them struggle was that. But it's crazy because when you look at the actual stat line, you actually watch the game, they dominated the glass. They were +9 on the boards, 49-40, right? They did what they were supposed to do, but it's just, they couldn't convert their chances. And then, you know, in critical junctures of this game, they turn over the basketball. Auburn's getting out on a break and they converting it into easy opportunities. So a lot to peel away from this game, man, but I think that's the part that hurt them the most. Overall, though, I thought, like I said, pretty good game. I know I said Auburn dominated. They were, when I say dominate, I just mean they were in the lead practically darn the whole game, wire to wire, up into that 10-0 run by Alabama. But, you know what I'm saying, I think two power weights going at each other, man. What better than on a Saturday to have and see this type of a game? I thought it lived up to the billing. I thought it was one of the best games. My only knock on it, why this couldn't have been a night game? Now, I know, obviously, it is the NBA All-Star. I know a lot of people don't care about that. I feel y'all. But why this couldn't be a 6 o'clock kickoff? You know what I'm saying? Or 6 o'clock tip. Why couldn't be that? You know what I'm saying? Top tier games like this, 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 4 or top 5 matchups, they should be nightcaps all day long. Those are blockbusters. Other than that, I thought it was a great game. So, yeah, y'all, that's my thoughts on Auburn winning. Like I said, I think they look like a team that could potentially win it all. I think they have all the pieces, the scoring, the defense, the interior, the perimeter defense, guys that can score and fill it up. When you have all that and it's anybody on any given night, good luck. All they got to do is just keep this guy healthy. If they can keep Janai Broome healthy, they got any chance in the world to be able to do it. And Bama, you just take this, you take your lumps, and you just continue to fine-tune and get better, you know? And that's another team with Nate Oates as the head coach with veteran leadership. They can get back there as well. But comment below your thoughts on, obviously, Auburn beating their rival Alabama.